welcome to the Midwest. I'm Jesse. Does meditation and yoga make people actually more egotistical? Well, according to a recent article that came out not too long ago, and I will link this article in the description box below, the answer is yes. That meditation and yoga cause a person to be more egotistical in some ways. And so I saw this as, of course, this was as an avid meditator, and as a person who I do yoga. I'm not an instructor. I wouldn't consider myself focused primarily on yoga in my life, but it is something that I do incorporate into my routines often, and it's something that many people who are very near and dear to me are yogis. And so I was sent this study, and I was like, oh man, and I read it, and if you take a look at it, I don't think they're being too hard on people. But here's the thing. In a way, they're right. Okay, and let's just be honest. I'm guilty of it. I think a lot of us are guilty of it. When you start something new and you find a great deal of benefit to it, oftentimes, what do? We go around and we act like, hey, this thing is awesome. Now, where they were really kind of calling us out, and where they were really calling people out, was where doing meditation and doing yoga were causing people to feel like they were better than other people, or what they considered enhanced. Their self-enhancement, their sense of self-enhancement was increased. And in some ways, we have to be honest about it. This is a real possibility. And because when we feel one of the human things is when we feel we have it right, we've figured something out. Oftentimes, it's human nature to feel like those people who are not doing what I'm doing are not quite as enhanced, I guess, to use their word, as I am. It's easy to fall into that. And if you take a look at our culture, now this particular study was done in Germany, so it was done on Westerners. So there's a certain degree of, there could have been a cultural difference between the Eastern practices and when you incorporate that into the West, maybe there's some kind of a difference. But I mean, I'm here in the United States, and I can tell you that there are pictures of me meditating on, in the snow, on the side of a mountain. And yes, I said, hey friend, take a picture of me doing this. I'm not going around, feeling like I'm better than everybody else. However, it is easy to do. And when doing meditation, when doing yoga, one of the goals is to let go of the ego. Is really to silence the ego. And this is something that goes against human nature, which is why we do meditation, which is why we do yoga. It goes against human nature. And for instance, in the Midwest, there is a group of people that follow a religion called the Amish. And I'm sure you've heard of the Amish. I know that at least there shouldn't be any Amish watching this right now, because they have forsaken technology. If you're Amish and you're watching, I'm not going to tell anybody. It's between me and you. But anyway, one of the things that the Amish have done, they decided to do, was to try to be humble. And what they decided to do was they're all going to wear the same clothes. They're all going to have everything they do is there's nothing gaudy about it. If you look at the style of clothing, it looks like they're out of the 1800s. And the whole point of it is to not be prideful. And what people have found, the interesting thing is, the people have found that amongst many of the Amish community, you'll find people who would, in a way, they would compete to see who could be the most humble. So you would have who can be the most humble. So again, finding pride in something where the goal is to find humility. And it's very, very easy for that to happen. And it's not just yoga, it's not just meditation. Anytime, I see it in CrossFitters, I see it in anybody that's in health and fitness, I see it in people who are really into eating organic, I see it in anytime you feel like, hey, I figured it out, I have found something that is beneficial, everyone should do it. Well, it's very easy to feel better than everybody else. Oh, look at that smoker. I remember I was opening up a bank account one day under my business name. So it was a health and fitness business. And I was talking to this banker, and then this other banker came in, and he's like, he told this lady, he's like, well, this guy won't like you. You're a smoker. I'm like, hey, man, first of all, don't put that on me. But the thing is, it is very easy for people to form little tribes of and to judge each other on these things. Yes, I think it probably would be a good idea if she stopped smoking. If you're a smoker, yes, I think it's a great idea if you stop smoking. Yes, I think it's a great idea if you eat better and if you get healthy in whatever ways. But the thing is, and I think this is where we really have to, as people who are into self-enhancement and to getting the most out of life, we have to remember that it doesn't make us better people. It doesn't mean that we've figured it all out. Humility is at the base of all of this, and so it's one of those things where I think the article is pretty spot on. The study that was done, I think, is pretty spot on. It is something you see oftentimes. You'll see this. I get to run around with a lot of these kind of communities, and if you're in one of these communities, it is very easy to spot a certain degree of, I guess the word would be elitism, or a certain degree of of feeling incredibly, like they say, self-enhanced, like I'm operating at a higher frequency than other people, and we have to watch that in ourselves. When it comes down to it, okay, we're going to talk about meditation this week a lot, but when it comes down to it, when it comes to meditation, when it comes to yoga, when it comes to anything else, when it comes to Wim Hof method, breathwork, etc., we have to understand that really what we're trying to do, we're always just trying to work on ourselves, because there's a lot of work we have to do. And beyond that, helping hands to other people, obviously, like I always say, you want to go out and be nice to people, but being nice to a person is, you're not just being nice to a person because you feel like, wow, you lowly thing. You need to do. Nothing's worse than someone who gets on a new diet or a new exercise program and they insist that you have to do it. I love hearing about new programs, but don't just like insist. Don't tell me, oh, you have to do it. It's not going to work for everybody. It's not everybody's thing. I get into freezing cold water. I'll sit there and I'll breathe myself, to the heights of consciousness or whatever. But that's not for everybody. And it doesn't make me any better than anybody else. So, tribe, my friends, Midwesterners, and people around the world, I guess my response to this article is that you're probably right. Because anytime you track humans who are trying to benefit and improve, there's always going to be ego coming into play. And that's the reason why, and that's one of the hardest and most difficult things to change, but it's the reason why we practice these things. We're continuing to practice, because yes, we do have to overcome the ego. Guys, what challenges do you see with regards to your own practice? What are some of the things? Let's not call anybody out. We're going to call ourselves out. What are some of the things that you have done and you're like, oh my God, I'm cringing about it now because yes, I was totally into myself and egotistical. I have an Instagram account, and it's, I try, my goal is to inspire others to do great things. And I try to show how I'm not really that great at this stuff, and I'm just really struggling. I don't always show that very well, and sometimes I probably make myself look awesomer than I am. So there's mine. What are some things that you do? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Guys, thanks so much for watching. This week I'm going to talk more about meditation. We're going to get into some meditation and some breath work this week. So until then, though, please like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to go out there and, without an ego, go out there and be nice to people.
Oh yeah.